I was recently reading the Bible in the early morning hours, sipping on my coffee, and I had this deep thought strike me, and wow, I was blown away by it. Years ago, I had seen a book titled The Bible Jesus Read, and I never thought about it much, but I was captivated by the title. I never actually read the book, but when I got a small synopsis of what the book was about, it was basically that Jesus read the Old Testament. The New Testament hadn't been written yet. So as Jesus grew up, he would have memorized, he would have read the Old Testament. Now, I know Jesus is God and man. I know that Jesus actually wrote the scripture, but also as a man, we know that he gave up some of his knowledge. Like, he did not know all the future events. He said only God knows these things. And so we don't know exactly how much information about himself he gave up. But we know that if he needed information about who he was, that he would have been reading the Old Testament. And considering that when he was young, he went to the temple and asked a whole bunch of questions, it's probably obvious that he was reading the scriptures, the Old Testament. Well, as I was reading, and I was reading either in Isaiah or Jeremiah, but I was reading, and the page came alive, and I basically could see that first of all, that this passage was talking about Jesus Christ himself. Well, then I started thinking about Jesus' humanity. I'm like, as a man, he had struggles, he had problems, he had hardships, he had pressures of the world pressing down on him. And then that the word was actually written for human beings, and since he was a human being, that the word there was for him, but this passage was prophetic and so directly for him that I realized that it was exactly for Jesus, and I was just getting blessed to be reading a passage that was for the Lord directly and indirectly. I was being blessed from it. Now, this being the case, I realized that Jesus himself nourished himself off the Old Testament. That was the breakthrough for me. Not just that Jesus read the Old Testament, but that just like you and I, he would go there for strength and for nourishment. When I realized that, it got me super captivated to want to always be reading the scriptures and to identify more with Christ, that if he went here for his source of nourishment, how much more do I have to gain in going there myself? May God add these words to your soul.